Hi everyone, in this video of Accelerated Chess Dragon, we're going to be going over a middle game strategy, and this is known as the clearance sacrifice. Now, a clearance sacrifice is when you sacrifice a piece or a pawn so you can open a certain line or a certain square for one of your pieces. This may include a square, a file, a rank, and a diagonal. So let's look at the clearance sacrifice. So in this first example, white is being played by Borislav Ivkov and black is being played by Lajos Portish. Ivkov is definitely way better. As we can see, his pieces are all cornering the black king, and if he's given a chance, he can even checkmate the black king, and he did manage to do that. So how did Ivkov finish the game off? You can pause your video and try solving this. Okay, so the correct answer is rook c6 check. And after this move was played, Portish resigned, because if he plays the move bishop takes c6, then knight c5 check, forcing the king to go to a5, and now bishop c7 is checkmate. The whole idea behind that clearance sacrifice was to clear the critical c7 square for this bishop to go to. And there isn't any other move other than bishop takes c6, so Portish was forced to resign. And that's the first example. Let's look at a few more. This next position we can see occurred in the game played between Anatoly Karpov and Istvan Sam. And in this position, Karpov is playing the white pieces, and he's down a knight, but he has very good activity for all of his pieces. And he needs to try checkmating Sam. So Karpov had a very nice trick here, and if you would like to try pausing the video and try finding out how Karpov beat Sam. Okay, so the correct answer is knight to f5, and here Sam resigned. Knight f5 is clearing this entire b8 h2 diagonal for white's queen to come to. Once the queen lands the check on h2, black is basically hopeless. For example, if he were to capture the rook, then queen h2 check. The king has no other move but to go to g8. Knight h4 just prolongs your existence, so let's say king g8 is played. White will play queen g3 check, and no matter where the black king goes, let's say f8 for this case, queen will come to g7, and this is checkmate. Sam could prevent this by playing queen to b8, but this would allow another nifty checkmate by Karpov. If you'd like to, you can pause the video and try finding it. Okay, so the correct answer is rook h7 check, and this would basically win the game, because after the knight captures the rook, you can also play king g8, but knight h6 is checkmate. So after knight captures rook, you can play queen g7, and this is checkmate. So after the knight f5 move was played, Sam resigned the game, and let's move on to the third example. This next position we are going to see occurred in the game played by Victor Bologan and Edwin van Hastert. And Bologan is definitely way better, because his pieces are way more active than van Hastert's are. You can see that his knight can never be opposed, and it can never be removed from its nice outpost on d5. The only way it can really be removed is if you sacrifice an exchange, and obviously that's not good. But these positional advantages is not what helps Bologan win this game. It's about the nice clearance sacrifice tactic. So if you'd like to, you can pause the video and try finding out how Bologan finished the game off. Okay, so the correct answer is queen takes h5 check. And after queen takes h5 check, van Hastert is simply lost. He captured the queen in the game, and now knight f6 check by Bologan. And Bologan is now clearing the entire 5th rank for his rook, and after bishop takes f6, rook takes h5 is checkmate. There's no way to really prevent this idea. You could play king g8 here instead of taking the queen, but after the simple queen takes g6, white is obviously way better. His pieces are all attacking the black king, and being up 2 pawns, this is also just white is going to win instantly. So you could avoid checkmate instantly, but it would still lead to a bad position in the end. Another move you could play instead of capturing the knight is king h8, but this would prolong your checkmate, because rook takes h5 check, the bishop will block the rook captures on h6 check, the queen will block, and then obviously rook captures on h7 is checkmate. So best would be king g8, but even that is not really going to be helpful for Van Hostert. In the game, he decided to capture the knight, and rook takes h5 is checkmate. On to the last example. This final position we are going to be seeing occurred in the game played by Vladimir Makaganov and Salo Floor. Makaganov is down a pawn, but his pieces are way more active than Floor's are. For Floor, all of his pieces are very passive. You can say that the dark square bishop cannot really get activated that easily. It's blocked in by this e5 pawn, and if you look at Makaganov's pieces, his bishop can easily come to b3, attacking the rook, and his pieces have more free will than Floor's pieces. So, how did Makaganov finish the game off? You can pause your video and try solving it. Okay, so the correct answer is bishop to b8, and after Makaganov played this move, Floor resigned, because there is no way to prevent checkmate. You could play queen takes b8, but then that would just lead to queen d7 check, and after king f8, queen d8 check. The queen would have to be taken, and after rook takes d8, this is checkmate. The point was just to free the d-file for your queen and rook. And there is a way to prevent checkmate with knight d5, but this would obviously just lose the queen, and after rook takes a7, queen takes f5, Makaganov is just going to easily beat Floor. There isn't any other move that would help here. If you play queen b7, immediately trying to prevent queen d7, then Makaganov is just going to go to d8. And there are no other moves that would help him in this position. Again, best is knight d5, but even that's not really going to help Floor. So, in conclusion, clearance sacrifices are a very nice way to sacrifice pieces and pawns so that one of your pieces gets a very active square, or in other cases, diagonals, ranks, and files. And in most cases, these could be useful to deliver some very nice checkmates. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, please let me know in the comment section, and stay tuned for more chess.